When his scapula is retracted, the scapula is moving toward the spine. And then if you have a protracted scapula, then it's going to be moving away from the spine. And then all of the muscles that are responsible for retracting the scapula, they're going to become very, very taut and weak and can lead to shoulder pain. And then a couple other things. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Steven here with Team Euphoric, and today I'm joined by Michael from One Body, and today we're going to be going over the reasons why a lot of people develop shoulder pain and some postural faults that will accompany shoulder pain, and these are all going to be postural faults that we're going to be teaching you how to correct on our seminar on September 18th. And before we get on with the actual postural faults, just wanted to let you guys know that this is the last week to get the early bird pricing. Next week, it is going to be going up to $250, whereas if you sign up right now, you can attend the seminar for $200. But let's go ahead and we're going to get on with the postural faults. Number one is a lot of people are going to develop shoulder pain because they develop what is called upper cross syndrome. With regard to upper cross syndrome, you are going to develop hyperkyphosis of the thoracic spine, meaning you're going to get a hunchback, and that's going to be accompanied with excessive forward head carriage of the neck. So your head is going to be presenting forward of where it should be, and that's also going to be coupled with medial rotation of the shoulders. Another postural fault that can lead to shoulder pain is going to be hypertonic traps. With regard to hypertonic traps, that is when your upper trapezius is overstimulated and overactivated, and your lower trapezius is going to be really, really weak. So what you would want to do is stretch the upper traps, strengthen the lower traps. We're going to be getting into that on September 18th. Another postural fault is going to be when people develop medial rotation of the shoulders. When your shoulders are medially rotated, that means that your humerus or your upper arm bone is rotated inward and your palms are facing behind you. And then much less common, it's very, very rare, but some people will have laterally rotated shoulders. When you have laterally rotated shoulders, it's the opposite. Your humerus or your upper arm bone, it's going to be rotated out to the side. And then aside from that, another thing that we can develop is something like a depressed first rib angle. With regard to the first rib angle, ideally you want somewhere around 25 degrees. When it becomes depressed, that means that you have excessive anteversion of the first rib angle. And then another thing that could develop is going to be an elevated first rib angle, where it's the opposite. The first rib angle is going to be a little bit less steep, and that's when you develop a little bit of retroversion. Then another thing that can arise is some winging of the scapula. This is going to be pretty common with a lot of people. With regard to the scapula, when the scapula moves away from the midline, that is what is referred to as a winged scapula. And what you would want to do is strengthen the exercises that are responsible for medially tilting the scapula in order to correct that. Then another thing with regard to the scapula is going to be protraction of the scapula. Protracted scapula is when the scapula moves away from the midline or away from the spine. I'm going to have Michael just turn his back so you guys can see. But when his scapula is retracted, the scapula is moving toward the spine. And then if you have a protracted scapula, then it's going to be moving away from the spine. And then all of the muscles that are responsible for retracting the scapula, they're going to become very, very taut and weak and can lead to shoulder pain. And then a couple other things that you may develop. Number one is going to be a rib flare. With regard to the rib flare, that's when the ribs start to pop up a little bit. But those are pretty much some of the postural faults that could lead to shoulder pain. And we're going to be covering all of the exercises and the anatomy on how to correct those on our seminar on September 18th. So if you do have issues with regard to shoulder pain, or if you are a clinician who treats patients with shoulder pain, definitely check out that seminar. And once again, this is the last week to get the early bird pricing. It's going to be $200 up until the end of August, and then September 1st is the deadline. So September 1st, no more early bird pricing. It's going to bump up to $250. So if you did want to save a little bit of money, and if you did want to heal your shoulder pain, definitely go ahead and check out that seminar. But that's pretty much it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to smash that like button so we know to keep making these types of videos in the future. And if you're either new to the channel or haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, as we will be uploading new videos every single day. That's it for today's video. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you again tomorrow, and we hope to see you on September 18th at the seminar.